Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to show and tell number 250. So, I have some really fun videos that I am filming today. I'm kind of pre-filming, so I know I've got stuff that can go up between now and New Year because there is a lot going on. Christmas is such a busy season. I'm just saying. I'm looking at my calendar. So I had a doctor's appointment last week. Pippen had a vet's appointment last week. His blood work came back wonky, so I had to take him back to the vet this week. Now, next week, I have a hair appointment and a physical. So it's like next week is going to be pretty much shot because with those 2 days gone, I'm going to have to use the rest of the week to kind of catch up on everything that I'm not going to get done for those 2 days. And I know that sounds like, oh, you don't do stuff. I wake up at 3 a.m. My appointments are not until 9. So by the time I get back from those appointments, I've already lived an entire day. Like I'm ready for like nighttime, go to bed. So yeah, probably not a lot going to be going on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I'm not sure how that's going to impact like filming next week. I might have to film on Thursday again, which I am filming today, December 12th, 2024. And it's based on the sun outside, I would say we're at about 8:15 in the morning. So, but I am so excited about the stuff that I have coming up. This is the trellis shawl from Annie's Crochet design. I will leave a link in the description box down below. This is using a Yarnable subscription box. This was the first month from my review series. This is the colorway Wildflowers. If you've been around for a while, you already know this is one of my favorite shawls. I was not anticipating loving this as much as I do, but once again, yellow is not normally one of my colors, but this combination is just so, this is why I always say when I do those unboxings, Cheryl always finds a way to surprise me. And just saying. So, I'm all finished catching you up on life. So yeah, Pippin's blood work came back wonky. The platelet counts were weird, and he tested positive for feline leukemia. And that's like almost impossible because he's either on the catio where he has no contact with other cats, or he is indoors where he has no contact with other cats. Both cats were vaccinated as kittens. Both of them. Well, Pippin was a shelter cat, so he had all of his vaccines at the time of adoption. And Banner, as soon as we got him, like 24 hours later, he was at the vet. And as soon as he was old enough, we were able to get him all of his vaccines as well. So there really shouldn't have been an opportunity for that to come back as a positive. So after a few days of freaking out, we did get his blood results from doing a second blood test back, and the platelet count was perfectly fine, and the leukemia test came back negative as we would have expected. So, and the vet's office was kind enough to give me a refund on the second set of blood work because it was a lab error, not anything we did wrong. We shouldn't be penalized financially for that. So, yeah, all that is fine. We just had quite a bit of stress and quite a bit of running around, and Pippin does not like the vet here. So, I think it's because it's a cat dog vet. When we go in, he starts getting really, really nervous, which is very atypical for him. He's a standard orange, gregarious, king of the world kind of cat. So, for him to be nervous at the vet, it's really unusual, but I think it's because they see dogs as well. So our previous vet was cat only. This one is a cat dog vet. The only cat only vet is about 40 minutes away from us, and I haven't been to them in a long time. So I don't know if I like the new vets there or not, but I do like our vet here. It's just, it stresses him out. So after I got him back home from the second appointment, of course, he's like clingy and doesn't want to let me do anything. And he started over cleaning because they clean the area where they're taking the blood from. And that leads to hairballs because short hairs just shed a ton more than the long hairs do. So we had hairballs after his first appointment, and then we had hairballs after this appointment. So that kind of threw like monkey wrenches all into my week, kind of impacting, craft time and everything. And of course, I'm sitting there like borderline sobbing, hugging Pippin, please don't be sick. God, please help my kitten. Don't let him be sick. So yeah, it was quite dramatic here. I am not one to emotional outburst, but it was very stressful and very dramatic here for a few days. So yeah, I did not get that much work done. I got 3 rows on my half circle eyelet shawl that I shared with you guys last week. So I didn't even bother bringing that upstairs. I got a corner to corner square done with this, I don't know, scrap of red acrylic worsted weight. Also got a granny square. So the granny square is a 10 round granny square using a 5.5 millimeter / USI hook. And the corner to corner using the same hook is also a 10 row. I really need to take all these that I've been doing for the last couple months and weave in the ends, because I know once I start putting these blankets together, I am going to be very angry at myself again if I don't have these ends woven in. So I do need to spend some time doing that. I'm going to have to find the pattern for this. I just printed out what I needed about the same time as I was doing the donation projects for the 30-day challenge, where I was using as much yarn as I could. We got a call for baby hats through the Purcell Ministry I'm a member of. And I basically, was already time allotted for something completely different at that point, as we had the aftermath of Hurricane Helene in Western North Carolina. So I was already dedicated to my 50 hats and scarves locally, and then everything else that I could make to send to my aunt's church in Asheville. So, and by the way, they sent me a thank you card. They were very, very appreciative. There is a massive need. There are a couple of different sites where you can go to look at some of the small businesses in Western North Carolina, not just the Asheville area, but across Western North Carolina, the small businesses that are still doing business online or in the process of rebuilding. If you would like to, maybe purchase some Christmas gifts from those guys, I would highly recommend it. But yeah, so I decided, as part of gearing up for making my list, the goals list for 2025, one of the things I would do was focus on also using scraps to make baby hats. So this is the 6 to 12 month size of this pattern. I really like it. It's very weird. So we have cross stitches and bobble stitches in here, which I've never done in this type of arrangement, but I do really, really like. I have started a smaller one in the 0 to 3 or 3 to 6 month. I think I did 3 to 6 month size as well. So these are just using some more of these worsted weight scraps. I'm going to make 2 or 3 in this size, 2 or 3 in the 3 to 6 month size, weigh them and see how much yarn I need, because I have a bunch of small scrap balls as well. So anyway, that's one of the things I've been working on. That's my car project right now. And the other thing I've been working on, obviously, would once again be my granny square sweater. So I am not going to try this on for you guys. I might try to get my model over there to put it on, but I don't think that's really going to help to share with you guys what I have done. So it might just have to wait till next week when this is done and blocked, or the next show and tell. But I do have a collar now, and we do have a bottom band. So for the bottom band, I did, and it's really hard to tell with the black, and plus you got Pippen floofs on there. I did 3rd loop half double crochets and alternating with double crochet rows. And I did the same thing on the collar. And once again, this is just winging it to fit me and how I want this to fit on my body. So I did do, this one is just half double crochet, or 3rd loop half double crochets all the way for 10 rows. So the collar's not going to fold over. It's just enough to come down around the neck and meet in the middle. So right now it's long enough. The collar piece is long enough. I can use a shawl pin to close it if I want to. I don't think I'm going to want to, but my big concern now is how to close the gap here, because I wanted to drop back that one granny square. So now I have to figure out how I want to seam this to close the gap. and then putting on the cuff. So as of now, I've used 4 or 5 of the Vanna's Choice to join all of my granny squares and do the collar and the bottom band. I have 2 skeins of the black left. So we're almost done with the black Vanna's Choice. Not something that I was trying to get out of my stash, but I mean, I'm going to roll with it. So, I really hate that this did not get done. I really thought, you know, especially once I had it blocked, it would take me no time to zip through everything. But every time I pick up this project, this is the only one. Every time I've picked up this project for the last 2 weeks, my phone rings. And this is one of those projects where you don't really get into a rhythm until half an hour. And literally I'll hang up with somebody, 30 minutes later, somebody else will call. And then as I'm starting to hit a stride again, something else happens. And it's just been nonstop like that every time I pick this up. So we're at the point where decisions have to be made and all the big things are done. I will have to now block this. I block the collar and the bottom band. And I do want to come around and do a row of single crochets that go all the way around the collar and across the bottom, just one row, just to straighten everything out, make sure everything looks mega, mega neat. I am so happy with how straight my edge on the collar turned out. So yeah, it's been a little bit of an adventure trying to get this done. I did not expect to have this many issues trying to finish off the cardigan. I have not pulled back out the granny squares to start working on the tan and off-white version. But once again, I'm trying to, like, at the end of this, I want to share with you guys a process or a way to help you guys see the forest for the trees. Maybe that's a good way to say it. So this is something that, you know, I was not anticipating, you know, being done and having everything together. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting to have this many delays either in trying to get these 2 cardigans done. So that's all I really worked on this week. I did pull out my blue and gray lemon peel blanket so I can really focus on that coming forward. And I do have the cowl I want to send my sister-in-law, and I still need to block my niece's sweater. So, so many things. And my brain is just like, and by the time I get home, half the time at the end of the day, I'm just like, coffee. We're so early in the morning, I have not finished my coffee. On your recommendations, did grab a tulip hook, and that will be the next hook conversation we have. I did get a 5.5 millimeter. As I always tell you guys, if you want to try out a new crochet hook or a knitting needle, I always recommend, if you don't have a project in mind you want to use it for, always get it in your most used size. That way, I mean, you really know what your favorite hooks do. So in my case, it was the 5.5 millimeter, which I use very, very frequently, especially with all these scrap projects and things like that I've been working on. So I am giving this a test ride. We'll have thoughts and opinions coming very soon, maybe as soon as this Saturday. It just depends on how much time I have to film today. Troy was gone once again this week. He has been in Pennsylvania all week, so he comes home today. So we have no protein in this house except for eggs. I need to go to the grocery store. So after I'm done filming today, that will be priority number 1, and then editing and uploading and all that good stuff. So it will be very busy. I do have some acquisitions to share with you guys, though. I told you last week I had made a purchase with Arcane Fiberworks. I think I got that right this time. Yeah, so that finally got here. Ironically, this shipping from Canada got here first before a product that was sent domestically. So I've got that one finally too. That one got here yesterday. But I've been sitting on the Arcane for a couple of days now, and I am super excited. And Randy, I know you were really interested in what I purchased, as from your perspective, Arcane is far more neutral than I normally go for. But I had to make one purchase just because I had to make it. And then that led to a second purchase because I just had to make it. And then I fell in love with something and it just had to come home with me too. So from their Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, whichever they did for theirs, I can't remember. I want to start with the I just fell in love with it, Hank. And just for the record, this is Erica, the Lopsided Crafter's fault, because she's the one that's like, hey, they're running a sale. And I bought this and I'm like, now I have to have that one too. We'll get there. So this is Happily Ever After. And the color palette picture, the inspo picture for this was absolutely stunning. I will leave a link for Arcane Fiberworks in the description box down below. So this is the DK Double Knit 80/20 Merino Superwash Merino Nylon Superwash Blend. It is 218 yards, 100 grams. Recommended needle size 3.5 millimeter to 4.5 millimeter. Recommended hook 4.5 millimeter to 5.5 millimeter. Like I said, I am really trying to get my hand dyeds, not just in fingering. I'm making a concerted effort, a conscientious effort to expand what I am getting my hand dyeds in. As much as I love my fingering weights, I really need to consider purchasing other weights. But I did get two of this one. One that would not surprise anybody who knows me and my fascination with horror movies and everything else. I did get Nightmare on Elm. This is on the fingering base. Once again, it is the 80/20 blend. 437 yards, 100 grams, US 1 to 3, which is 2.25 millimeter to 3.25 millimeter. Hook is a 2 millimeter to a 3.5 millimeter recommendation. So I did get this one on fingering. I have other horror themed sock yarns, and I kind of want to pair this with those that are also indie dyed. I've got a Friday the 13th, a Halloween, Michael Myers, and a Psycho, as I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I already have like a couple of horror movie themed yarns in my stash. I want to add this to that group, and eventually this will get turned into a thing altogether. Many of the colors are very, very similar, but I really love this shade of green. And I always tell you guys, my favorite neutral is definitely a gray. So this was kind of one of those, even if I just use this as a Christmas make, because this is not very far off from some of the other Christmas things I own, this would be 100% reasonable. It doesn't just have to be a horror themed thing. It's just straight up gorgeous. But that green I want to sink into the shade of green. It's really weird. A couple of years ago, I started getting really into deep blues. And right now, for some reason, this season, I'm really drawn in by some of these more hunter green, forest green tones, especially when they kind of pull more towards like a red compatible shade, but not like Christmas green. I like that deep. It works well with the cool tone gray as well as the warm tone red. For some reason, that shade of green just keeps sucking me in like nothing else. I absolutely love it. And the colorway that set this whole thing off that I'm blaming on Erica, so this entire purchase is Erica's fault. This is Krampus is Coming to Town. Speaking of horror-esque things that could pull Christmas as well. And actually, these would have been really awesome together, just for the record. If you're, going out to make a purchase, I'm just saying Nightmare on Elm and Krampus is Coming to Town are very, very, very compatible together and would be beautiful in a 2-color fade. So this is once again on the same DK base, the 80/20 DK base. Same thing as the Happily Ever After. I'm not going to run down those stats again, but once again, so if you are not aware, I live in Columbia, South Carolina, home of the University of South Carolina, the Garnet Army, the Garnet and Black land here in South Carolina. And I do make a lot of red and black, garnet and black colored items. I use Southern skeins to make a giant shawl that I actually very frequently wear on Sundays and get compliments on all the time. I also have a fade that is a gray to red fade. It works for my local sports team, but I also, once again, I love gray as a neutral. I wear a lot of black. So, and yes, I went through a goth phase. Don't get me wrong, but I wear a lot of black, in particular black pants or cardigans, because how else do you tone down the hot pink? Also, I can wear pretty much any color shawl I want to with black and gray. So yeah, now I got a floof on my nose. But yeah, like that's kind of why that happens that way. It's accidental, but it's kind of inadvertently on purpose. But yeah, Krampus just had to be mine. I was in love with this as soon as I saw it. It fits with so many other things that I've made, and it works for my general palette here. Now, if you're watching this, and I really hope you guys are watching this, but I have now picked what our first subscription box to review for 2025 will be. And we're going to go with Arcane. So I have purchased from them before. I have purchased their yarns in the past. But yeah, I did not exactly pick what I would consider to be super neutral or even natural colorways. But this just kind of, it's like the dusty version of everything I love anyway, color-wise. I think, especially the way the color distribution is, the green in this just pops in such a fantastic way. I'm in love, and I couldn't say no. I just couldn't say no. So that is what I got from Arcane. I did also finally get my Southern Skeins Merry Grinchmas mystery package. That wasn't really a mystery. Like, we knew exactly what was in it. I can't remember what she called this. And of course I left my information. Well, maybe it's on the inside. There is a card in here. Maybe I should read that first. Yeah, I saw this and just kind of had to have it. It was a price I could 100% justify. A Grinchy yarn box mini knitmas from Southern Skeins. So I will leave a link for Southern Skeins down below as well. I have reviewed Southern Skeins regular yarn subscription box, and I have received some of the leftover Southern Skeins Sock Club sock yarn sets in mystery bags from them before, and I purchased mystery bags from them. Southern Skeins is one of those you can pretty much always purchase from them mystery things if you for me. So we have a 100-gram skein in Whoville Cheer, mini skeins in Whoville Whimsy, Grinch's Heart, Mr. Grinch, Coals for Xmas, and Heart Grown 3 sizes. We also have needle stoppers as well as a polymer clay stitch marker in here. And there's a crochet pattern as well as a knit pattern, which is one of the reasons why I love Southern Skeins, because there's almost always a crochet pattern along with the knit pattern. If I want tonals or texture, Southern Skeins is one of those places I know I can probably find it. But this one is solid, not tonal. And this is what we're working with. It was just absolutely perfect to me. Once again, I've really been feeling the green. We don't have that hunter green color, but we do have this, like, drop back here, very day glow. I would call that like glow worm. And then we have this beautiful olive. And then paired with the red. So it reads Grinchy, but it doesn't have to be Grinchy at the same time. So yeah, very much that had to be mine. And then when you look at the extras that came with it, the stitch marker is too cute. You can see his little Grinchy smile under there. It's just adorable. And then the stitch markers, or the needle protectors. I mean, once again, it was just kind of too perfect for me to not purchase. So I did impulse buy that. And it does say that this is the Grinchmas 2024 set. I love it when things come dated like that because I'm really good about remembering for up to about 18 months. After that, I'm guesstimating. So anyway, very excited. Chef's kiss, absolutely perfect. I worked through so much stash this year. I need to put these in my notebook so I know like where I am on my budget, but I don't think I've come close to my budget. So there's that. Even with the Eat Sleep Knit purchase that I shared last week, like I don't think I'm anywhere near my budget. Even if I take out my seed money from the beginning of the year, after doing the 30-day challenge, I don't think I'm anywhere near going over this year, which is the first year I have not kind of had to like do some funny math to justify certain things. Not that I really care, but I am trying to reduce stash, not, continuously build it. Okay, it's been almost half an hour, which means it's 8:45, and I just had a package delivered at my front door. They're starting early today, which is probably a good thing. But anyway, I probably ought to go check and see what just got dropped at my front door to see if it's something I need to wrap or if it's something that goes on one of my stepson's piles of things they need to come over and wrap. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, fantastic day. I will see you guys really, really soon. I love you. As always, take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.